going into a best of series with a game plan and then trying to follow it like step by step is very hard through multiple games. You need to be ready at adapting. Whatever they throw at you, you need to be ready to react to that. And then it's good to scrim with a lot of different teams, with a lot of different playstyles, because you'll be ready. You want tunnel vision on a single opponent.
Welcome back to the 2014 Summer Promotion Tournament, and our second game between Cloud9 Tempest and Evil Geniuses is going to start in just a second, but we want to kind of preview this game. The key players for Evil Geniuses in the last game and going forward, Snoopy is definitely one of them. Aframu, what does he really have to do in this next game?
Snoopy did a really good job of snowballing last game, thanks to the face check and the display by Cloud9 Tempest. But other than that, Snoopy really knows where he's supposed to be, but sometimes he stays a little too long. And I really think that Snoopy can be the catalyst for this whole series as long as he gets his lane snowballed properly and controlling objectives when they rotate.
Link, as far as Inox goes as well, the beneficiary of the Snoopy gank in the top lane. Is he going to be able to do this again?
We'll see how it goes because the 2v2 could have went either way, honestly. And I thought it should have went Cloud9's way, but they misplayed. Cloud9 Tempest, sorry. And so whatever's going to happen is just going to depend on their picks and the 2v2. But I really do think that EG had the better 2v2 top lane because, you know, Jax Pantheon, they could just pretty much one-shot anyone. So it's just up to Snoopy to make the play and then Inox to carry.
Yeah, and moving across the board to Cloud9 Tempest, Altec has been one of the big stars for them. 388 CS in defeat on Corki versus 246 from Pete. Aframu. How does Altec step up to help Cloud9 Tempest win?
Well, it clearly shows that Altec is a click above Yellow Pete, so he really needs to force 2v2 by far, and they'll be able to definitely win lane because EG's bot lane isn't really that potent. They don't really put out much pressure at all, so I think Cloud9 Tempest bot lane can take it from there, and Altec should be able to carry.
Yeah, and another key player, obviously, for Cloud9 Tempest is the jungler Kez. Link, you had some thoughts on him last game.
So basically, when you're playing on land, the jungler usually makes the most plays in the early game. So it's up to the jungler to figure out where he wants to gank, where he wants to create the most pressure. So it's up to him to make sure that he goes in the right place and get the wards down middle, get the vision control out so that he can apply pressure. So there's a really heavy burden on Kez, especially because this is such a high stakes match, and he can't be passive because if he's passive, then naturally his whole team's gonna be passive, and EG just has to step up on them because they're used to the pressure. I mean, they've already been through relegations, they've played in the LCS season, and they know how to deal with the pressure. But so Cloud9 Tempest, especially Kez, the jungler, he has to make the plays.
Yeah, absolutely. EG went 3-0 last promotion tournament, 1-0 so far. Who wins game 2? Quick predictions. Afro.
Maybe I pick Cloud9 Tempest.
I pick
Tempest.
I pick EG.
And EG. Different opinions on the desk. This is awesome. Let's throw it across the studio to Freak and Kobe with the call.
Thank you very much, Jat. We are going to be getting ourselves into the second game now in a second. And I do want to see, actually, what they were talking about at the desk, right? The guys who need to step up actually stepping up. So Altec, high CS, 1-1-4, not a bad score. It's a score you would even see on winning teams sometimes. It was a low-kill game. Kez, though, not a great performance, 0-5-3. It seemed like he was waiting around for ganks, and it would be like, you know what, I don't see it, and then just turn around and go somewhere else.
So they talked about how the Aurelia Jax lane snowballs really hard, but so does the jungle matchup there. It put him behind really far in the jungle as well. And then for Altec, it's hard to come up big when you're faced with a fed Jax. As an AD carry, a fed Jax is your worst nightmare. He had Blade of the Ruin King the first time that Altec saw this Jax. He already had a Blade of the Ruin King completed. It was just like, well, I'll see ya in the fountain.
Yeah, he had BT Triforce when Altec had BT Sheen. And I was like, yeah, it's not going to be ideal. So I guess Ruin King Triforce rather than the first one. But here we go. Second game. Cloud9 Tempest actually continuing the Nocturne ban, adding LeBlanc to the pool. Interesting. Maybe that's a counter pick, but they're going to first pick here for Bishu, but that's a new one. The Elise now not in the ban pool, but Kha'Zix added on this one. Morgana, Ziggs still removed away. Jax, respectively, was the first pick there, so Cloud9 Tempest.
Soraka's still up, but did not really have a game-changing impact before. And as I said on the analyst desk, it looks like EG aren't concerned about the pick and are willing to deal with it.
Yeah.
And again, the focus on the jungle from C9T, trying to get Snoopy on a different champion. He performed very well on the on the Pantheon, though. So
yeah. Cloud9 Tempest, though, they still want to play the Soraka, and to me, I think this is the right choice because I don't think it was their team comp that backfired. I don't think their strategy was wrong, and I think to throw away your best strat, right? You come into game one with your best strat, arguably. To throw it away because something else went wrong, I think, is silly. So they're saying, you know what? We'll still run Soraka. We'll still try to run a comp, probably with a lot of healing on it overall.
And I also would expect another Corki pickup from Altec. Does so much magic damage. It works really well with the Shred from Soraka in those team fights.
Yeah.
Plus, Corki does a lot of AoE with his magic damage, so they can really pile it on with those two, especially if he opts for Sork Shoes.
Yeah.
Because flat penetration and more flat penetration equals true damage.
True. Absolutely can. And keep in mind also, Rise now this time not banned by EG. So you might see the giant magic damage stack come in for C9T and be like, yeah, you know, Rise, Yuzuki's going to have a really good game.
More flat penetration.
Exactly. Just stack it in. Jungle Karthus. Not the case. Jungle Evelyn going to come through here, so Cloud9 Tempest having to play magic heavy on this one.
They are really tunneling on that Evelyn pick. I think it must be the limited champion pool of Kez. Now, I know he does play Elise as well, though. So I guess that's just another choice of another magic damage jungler, though.
Yeah, I think this is his choice because C9T are the only team even banning junglers, basically.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, Kez, you're still going to play the Evelyn.
And this is Feral Flare OP patch as well, before it was changed to 30 stacks and before the price was increased.
And we haven't seen Xin Zhao at all. Master Yu has only really played an EU challenger. We haven't seen him too much.
I like how they called on the analyst desk how neither of these teams play Lee Sin in the jungle. However, Inox loves Lee Sin top lane.
Yes,
so
he does.
If the Lee Sin was locked in, that would... There we go. It's obviously going to be Inox. And then we will have a return to the Pantheon from Mr. Schnoopy.
Snoopy. All right. Well, let's give him the grab there. The Pantheon. So a lot of similar picks going through for Evil Geniuses. The only new one being the top lane so far. Saying, well, you didn't get Jax because we banned it, but have Lee Sin, your other great champion for Inox.
Yeah, this is interesting. Going for the counter pick here. Lee Sin into Rise. Lee Sin definitely has the ability to kill Rise early, and they can keep him down very easily with a Pantheon. One gank there, the same situation could happen as last time. You tip this top lane matchup with one gank, and then you continue that threat with the Pantheon ultimate. Even if an Evelyn does show up, Lee Sin has a pretty easy time of escaping that just because it slows and he can dash so easily.
Yeah.
And you can buy enough time for a Pantheon to come in with an ult counter gank, which would go disastrously for Cloud9 Tempest.
So now Evil Geniuses have the chance to
Oh.
make a similar situation and make it, again, 4 champions the same for both teams here. Top laners are different because of the bans. The rest of the comps equal for both teams.
We're definitely going to see if the first 10 minutes play out differently, because last time was a complete disaster for Cloud9 Tempest. They have to play safer this time around, and they've got so much magic damage here. They're very, very heavy on the magic damage. Even Evelyn going hybrid, I guess they have 2 hybrid champs with Evelyn and Corki, but it's still overwhelmingly magic damage. So that should be the easy build path for Evil Geniuses, and towards the late game, they'll have an advantage there.
Yeah, so I want to see then how the builds pan out, because I know for Pantheon it's easy to buy Hex Drinker. For top Lee Sin, actually you could buy one as well. So I feel like it's easy to add into the build paths.
And the thing is, with all this flat penetration from the champions, you really need to build magic resistance if you are on EG right now. Because if you don't, then it's going to get right down to that true damage very quickly with Rise and Soraka.
You can go negative with those abilities, so you do want some there. So guys, as the teams load into the Rift, remember to tweet us your picks at LOL Esports. Use the hashtag C9TWin, or if you think Evil Geniuses will come out on top, use the hashtag EGWin. We'll see, of course, how your votes go in throughout the game. You guys did, after the online poll, the Twitter poll had EG pulling ahead in game 1, and you guys were right on that one, so looks like the guys were changing their minds halfway through. Pretty accurate. Once you see the game play out, you're like, you know what?
Pretty easy to analyze after the game has started.
To be fair, they did that one before the first blood, so I'll give them credit. They saw Champ second and was like, I feel EG in this one.
Yeah. Okay, so it is going to be a teleport Lee Sin matching up with the teleport Rise.
Yeah.
And the analysts were also talking about how Cloud9 might want to force that 2 versus 2 because they feel like they have such a big skill discrepancy in the bottom lane. But
Yeah.
we'll have to see how the early game plays out because that's such a hard thing to pull off. It's really such a guessing game, trying to figure out where your enemies will start out. And if you guess wrong and you on blue side make the switch and send your AD carry and support top, then it can throw the entire game off. And that's not what Cloud9 want to do. They want to have a calm start so they don't have the same problems as last time and they actually get to play their team comp out without having to deal with some ridiculously fed top laner.
Well, we'll see how the early game pans out then. Cloud9 Tempest once again. They ward the blue buff, and they walk down to the Tri-Brush. Now the thing is, if EG has like any coaching staff here, they can be like, hey, so by the way, their level 1 last time was ward the blue buff and go down to Tri-Brush, and C9T running the exact same plan. To be fair, EG running the same plan as well for themselves, but...
Yeah, so this is the lowest risk beginning starts. We went over it so many times, but yeah, both teams invading the opposite blues, red side going up top, making the switch, and it looks like we will have the now standard switches and early tower pushing as well.
Wow, and after watching game 1, people have changed their minds pretty heavily. Evil Geniuses definitely do look a lot better in this series. 84-16.
You see the result from the game 1, and then you see the champions in game 2. Oh, they're all the same. Well, the odds.
How good is Yuzuki's Rise?
The odds have changed. All right, so it's the 5-man invade using their Soraka to come as well. See how long he stays there. Orianna getting the early shove on Soraka could actually hurt that mid lane matchup. And it looks like Pobelter will get the early shove if he wants it. Getting the lane first. Can also zone Soraka pretty well with that ball placement.
So it is going to be the 2v1 setup. No, actually, look at this. There's a recall. This is smart. Okay, so there's a recall from Glebe Larbu on Thresh. This is the counter to the 4-0 push. Your AD carry solos the empty lane, and you 3v4 the heavy lane.
So they haven't recalled the other people though. So right now it is just the Thresh. Now the other two start to recall, so they're going to try and 3-man defend the 4-man push. They need to get there at the perfect timing though, because their EG are pushing on the second wave, and they're going to have Lee Sin and Pantheon in position. If it's just Glebe, then they can catch him out. So good ward, but they need to get into the turret to be able to defend it. They are trying to teleport in just to get positioning here. Evelyn really far behind.
They're both level 1. It's a 2 versus 4. Yuzuki going to take a whole bunch of damage. Stunned up. He goes down for first blood. He was alone on that one. Second wave push comes in too fast.
Yeah, so if you try and counter the 4-man push, you have to be in position under the turret when they're all 4 there. Those extra few seconds will cost you first blood. Just saw it there. Rise does bite the dust first. And he also used his teleport to try and get in there in time. So huge upset here for Cloud9 early. They're going to be very far behind, trying to make something happen with countering the 4-man push, but they weren't able to get the timing down.
Yeah, and Inox, of course, just teleports down to the bottom lane to hold this lane 1v1, so not much missed XP for Evil Geniuses overall. Looks like Yuzuki and Glebe will be safe up here, but it's just different 2v2 lanes. I don't know if this is the one that C9T really wanted.
Well, their duo won't have to face up against Altec, so this might even be good for EG since the support and AD carries are split up. And they won't have to deal with the quirky bully.
I wonder how good the Yuzuki-Glebe synergy is. I don't feel like they duo lane very much, but the thing is, it almost works out because you've got... Here's the thing, right? Like, Rise is still ranged. He can last hit pretty well. I feel like he'll be safe, and actually has kill threat with a Thresh under the turret, whereas Altec can zone away Inox. This actually might be, despite the first blood, a slightly better lane setup for C9T. Maybe. I want to see how it plays out.
Well, considering the players that they have, they're probably happy with this. Giving a lot of their farm to Altec is usually the game plan for Cloud9. So they're happy to focus as much money as they can onto Altec, and they have the confidence in him to use that money to carry in the mid and late game. He did miss a CS right there, though.
Quirky mechanics slightly dropping off. This one, Snoopy going to clear away an early pink ward, though. That one definitely did not pay for itself, and he just quickly replaces that one. Altec now trying to still hit this bottom lane turret. It's down about half HP. Inox not able to easily defend this one. Lisa, not the best lane counter to Corki.
Interesting counter jungling here by Snoopy as well. A lot of time here for Kez, just walking around after Snoopy found his pink ward and replaced it with his own. If they do run into each other, Kez actually has a level on Snoopy, and he should be able to take him.
Well, Snoopy waiting around.
He's
Jumped
going for
on
it.
there. Here comes Srock as well. Snoopy is on the wrong spot in the map, but gets a shield. He flashes, but the kill goes over to Kez.
So again, Snoopy actually gets caught going for a gank, and this time around, the flash does not save him. There's no Jax to stun.
Inox finding some good damage in Altec though. Half HP and almost no mana now in the Corki.
You can see what Altec was doing there though. He did a short Valkyrie just to get enough distance so he could turn back around and auto attack. He wasn't just running blindly away from Lee Sin. He was still looking to move aggressively.
Some danger right here. Altec does have Summoner Heal, burns it, but Inox has the Q. Does have to flash away. Altec not going to chase.
Yeah, he's calculated there. The one more auto attack would not be able to kill Inox. So he does not go for it, and he takes the summoner advantage. It's these small things in the trades that that Altec does that really make you appreciate his play.
The difficult thing for Inox though too is he basically went one wave early because his teleport still is not yet available. He has to walk all the way back to lane without boots of speed. Double Doran's Ladle Center to the top lane. Yuzuki, 30 CS to the 27 of Lee Sin, and this Ryze has TP available. I feel like when the lanes settle out, this is a better match for C9T's top laner.
Yeah, they're happy to get Yuzuki to that tier very early here. Now he can actually recall, and both teleports for the solo laners will be up.
Yep. Goes for Catalyst, undoes it, goes for tier instead. Yuzuki realizing, now I still want the mana sustain to go up, buys the pieces of Catalyst. Kez roams through the mid lane. Krepo, I like that ward. We talked about how to beat Evelyn is getting wards in the enemy jungle to watch her doing camps. Krepo spends some time saying, well, if you go double golems, we'll know. Snoopy has a ward by the Wraith camp as well. So EG will know if Eve is bottom side. Mid lane is holding equal as well. So it was actually better for Pelter by this point last time in. Looks like it's gone a little bit more equal. Doran's Ring. Both these guys, you kind of have an amplifying tome lead versus Boots. Not a big deal.
Snoopy's still level 4 though. Getting pretty behind because of that death this time around. And when Snoopy gets behind, he usually has a pretty hard time in the remainder of the game. One of the problems that plagued EG for a long time in the LCS was if they do not get off to a good start, they force a lot of engages.
Yeah.
And they overextend and they get even further behind. They kind of do a snowball against themselves. And here, a level 4 Pantheon tanking up the dragon. Evelyn's on the top side of the map. So they're trying to rush it down, but Soraka is getting into place, and she's an amazing team fighter. Looks like the Gambit paying off for EG, though. Able to secure the global objective without even losing much pressure on their mid turret.
Very nicely done there. Evil Geniuses. They missed a minion wave, but who cares? Kaz is 6, Snoopy's still 4.
Yeah, even after the dragon, still level 4.
Now 4 2/3. Yeah, he's got a ways to go.
He will get the catch-up bonus experience from his red buff, though, because when you are behind as a jungler, you get a percentage increase in experience from killing the big monsters of your jungle camps. And since your red buff does update without having to kill them, he should jump up pretty big here.
Smite comes through, see what he gets. Full level from that one, and he's most of the way to 6 already.
Yep, he just needs one more goal, and that almost was 2 levels right there. Clearing out the red. Kez getting into position, though.
He's 6, and Snoopy's on the wrong side of the map. Sneaks into the second brush. Is going to get spotted out.
Oh! He just got out of range there.
Wow.
Because of the the circle that Krepo's walking in.
They're going to be okay. There's the jump in from the backside. Burst on a yellow peak out of nowhere.
So
Kill goes to C9T.
that is a game of inches. Here goes the Pantheon ult, though. Trying to make Altec pay.
He missed the big rocket. Now in a duel with Snoopy, teleport comes in. Altec does not have heal. And Yuzuki
He goes
can't
down
get enough
fighting,
fighting
though.
time.
Yuzuki can't clean up anything out of that. Wow, what a nail biter for Altec.
Bishu, Pobos are now in a fight. 8 versus 8. Shockwave is available, so is Ignite and Heal. It's going to be nothing for nothing, though. And Evil Geniuses, actually, they found their way back into this game thanks to that Dragon and the trading kills. EG's ahead in gold.
So both junglers with successful ganks on opposite sides of the map this time around. Altec almost was able to outplay that 2 versus 1 and get someone low enough for Yuzuki, but not quite. Just seconds are making the differences between these two plays, up top and down in the bush, where Krepo barely backed off for a second and allowed Kez to get into the bush.
Yeah, wow, so there we go. Level 9 now found for Soraka. 9 soon for the Orion in the mid lane, and we have a 400 gold lead for Evil Geniuses. How else would the lanes pan out? Looks like Yellow P actually rushing for a Trinity Force, Altec doing Bloodthirster, which means Altec's slightly stronger in a fight right now. You can see he has a level lead because he was soloing that bottom lane for so long. Can he bully out Yellow Pete much? The trading blows back and forth. Q's dodged.
I do like the game plan from EG as well, focusing Pantheon ults this time around on Altec to try and keep him down, since C9T are funneling a lot of money into that Corki. They don't want to let him get out of control, and you saw how he almost already got to that point as he was taking down Inox, and Snoopy barely was able to save him. Good job shoring up their weak spots.
Bishu, though, in the middle of 3 to 4 enemy champions. Inox comes from the side. Kez down to half HP. Snoopy got a flash stop, but the heal comes out, keeping him safe. The kick not going to do enough now. Snoopy, Inox on the wrong side of the map. Glebe, does he have the spells available? Yuzuki just might. The burst comes down. Snoopy falls. Inox goes down. Double kill Yuzuki.
Ooh, too deep for EG right there, and good roam down from Yuzuki coming to clean up. That should also give them control here. Pushing against Orianna is not quite as difficult as pushing against Soraka, but it still will be a task for them, so they decide not to try and go for it.
Meanwhile, we just still have this duel of the AD carries. Featured matchup right in front of us. Altec goes in. Yellow Pete forced back to the turret, does not dodge the Q. One more rocket, not going to go for it.
He needs a real big one.
Yeah.
To be able to take this. Oh, look at this. Thresh coming in from the side, just warding though. And he does not get another rocket off to stop the recall. But the Pantheon ult is up.
Ooh, this is risky. Leave not on top of any wards, realizes he has no teammates around.
Support can't solo the blue buff steal. Tough life.
It's unfortunate. You can steal it from enemy champions, though.
Afro can.
Yep. Empowered Q. Doesn't mean too much. Krepo's going to be fine. His bottom turret is going to stay alive here, so this push hasn't really done too much for C9T, but create a lane for Altec to farm, and he's got 113 minions right here.
It also has resulted in Yuzuki with both of his scaling mana items already completed at 13 minutes, so C9T are pretty happy and with the way this one is turning out this time around.
800 gold for these guys. Kez level 8. He has been part of 3 kills so far, so he's had a bit more success there, has more minions than Snoopy as well. Bishu going pretty deep in enemy territory for some wards. Problem is he walked through some pink wards doing so and didn't sweep them away. So this is all known. EG pinged both wards that went down.
Yeah, so there's some good wardage around the dragon for Cloud9 right now. The only problem for them is that the teleport for Inox just came up, and dragons in 40 seconds or so. Yuzuki's will not be up in time. So Kez is trying to pressure top preemptively before dragon spawns, get some pressure there, either make him force him to recall and teleport back to try and save minions, or get some sort of pressure up top before going down for that second dragon fight. Good call right there, but he wasn't able to make anything happen. So he had the right idea, just not able to execute anything up top, and now the threat of dragon is going to draw him back down to the other side of the map.
13 seconds to go, right about the timer on Yuzuki's teleport. He should be able, he'll be up 30 seconds late if EG goes for the dragon fast.
And we saw how fast they did it before, even with a level 4 Pantheon. So 30 seconds is going to make or break the next fight if EG decide to pull the trigger.
We'll see. Bishu in a half HP. Pobelter does not know Evelyn is coming. Bishu's going to go back in for this one. Here comes the engage. This shockwave lands on 2, but here comes Pantheon on the backside. Bishu does have the wish, but no summoners available. Big burst in from Snoopy, but he goes for Kez. Kez fires back. One hate spike, and he gets it. Kez on the retreat. Pobelter very low. Has to get out.
So with both junglers going so low, the dragon fight is going to have to wait. One of them needs to respawn and the other needs to heal. Both mid laners come out of that pretty evenly though. All right, it's time for the bottom lane bully here.
Crepo shields the wrong person. Leave with the box and the flame. Crepo flashing out. One rocket. Ooh, Summoner heal keeps him safe.
Close one there for Crepo, almost costing him his life, but they are going to have to give up the turret for that. We'll see if C9 actually venture into that pink ward push. They're trying to deny more minions to the turret, leaving the turret up for as long as they possibly can, making the bottom lane of EG pay for that mistake. And because of that mistake, not only is it the turret, but they can also get that dragon that we were hyping up.
And EG not in the position to contest this one. 5-2 in kills, 1-0 in turrets. Had a weird start, but we went down finally to 2-on-2 lanes, and Cloud9 Tempest now up 3,000 gold as a result.
Uh-oh, Bowser's under attack.
It's gonna be all right. The Flash keeps his robot body safe. He's going to be all right.
So I am glad that we got to see C9T go back to the same strategy here and actually perform it without having to deal with a uber-fed Jax this time around. Because it's going to be very interesting to see a team fight with all this magic shred and magic damage on the team. If we look through the inventories here on EG, they don't have a lot of magic resistance. They've got a couple no magic mantles. That's it. And, you know, the Athenes is going to help out Pobelter a bit, but we'll see how the shred comes into play.
You know, for what it's worth, they've got an armor shred, too. Not like it's going to matter for the team,
hey,
but...
he's also got true damage.
Yeah.
If we're naming off damage types.
You know, he can also... He's got a red buff, he's got more true damage. Every auto attack, bunch of true damage.
You know what else? He's hit a power spike with that Bloodthirster. Let me see how many stacks he's got. Oh, it's fully stacked. Yeah. So there it is. He's got the maximum efficiency right now on that Corki.
And it's been a long time since Yellow Pete shop. He's at 1,500. He's actually really far from Triforce, actually. So the farm really not been that good to the EG AD carry. Once again, a 50 minion lead for the Cloud9 Tempest AD carry. Analyst has talked about that being important. Afro said it. And you're seeing this right here. Much more important AD carry, despite being 0-1-0. Like, Altec does way more right now in a fight.
And it's not just Altec either. This C9 team, the entire team scales really well. Their team fight is going to be ridiculous. Against a melee-heavy team with Pantheon and Lee Sin both going damage, having to jump in, they're going to be in range of Starcall the entire time. They're going to be in range of Ryze's AoE the entire time. Even Corki, like, they are just going to get obliterated with magic damage as soon as they jump in on someone.
Well, we'll see how good the shockwaves are, though. Orianna's one champion that can definitely turn games around with a really good ulti. And we'll see if Pobelter can get that. Yuzuki playing safe, realized the roam was happening. Backs out for this one. No turret kills yet.
Oh, the dive!
The man drop comes in. Kez and Yuzuki now in a 2 versus 3. Snoopy does not find anyone. And actually, though, Crepo just might the flash over the wall. Yuzuki going to be safe. The flash back in there. Here comes Bishu. Might have been too much. EG forced to back away, and Kez on the chase.
Oh,
Tipped out. The shield, the shockwave misses. The wish, though. Kez now overextends. He gets healed, and he stays alive. Ignite won't claim him either. Crepo has a shield. I'll take it as a turret. Crepo's got Flay. And there's the kill picked up.
Oh,
big fight, C9T.
Wow, turning around the dive. C9T, they force, this was the engages we were talking about from EG. I said when they get behind, they force these things, and they get further behind. They snowball against themselves. When they get ahead, they press it really hard, and they get a tremendous lead. We see games like last time. When they get behind, it's the exact opposite here. So once again, they go for the dive, but the move speed on both these champions. Ryze pops his ulti, Kez pops his W. Yuzuki does a good job of flashing over. It's so fortunate that he did it at the exact time that Inox actually threw his Q. So much damage being put out with the Ryze and Soraka. That's what we were just talking about for so long. And Kez survives because of the ridiculous amounts of heals and shields from the team, ending up with a 4-man, it was a 4 versus 4, but Lucian was actually doing nothing this whole time. Lucian was just walking across, trying to join the fight, whereas Altec was on his own mission. He was getting farm, and he was also taking turrets.
The flash summoner heal from Bishu is what saved Kez in that one.
Yep.
Kept the fight going. So teamwork all over the place for these guys. Managed to make the plays they needed to do. 5,500 gold now puts Cloud9 Tempest ahead in this game 2. very lackluster first game, off some early game mistakes. They stopped those from happening, and it's a much different game here. Now the test is, so Evil Geniuses, they had a giant lead early on, a big fed Jax. They said, okay, we'll control the map, we'll siege up, and close the game in about 35 minutes. Cloud9 and Tempest now are in control. How do they play with the lead?
I'm really surprised at the fortitude of these Cloud9 players. They are young players. They talked about not having land jitters anymore, but the confidence to go right back to the same strategy that they got obliterated with, just because of an early game mistake. They're like, yes, that was an early game mistake. We're not going to abandon our plan. Everybody stay on board. We can do this. And they're definitely pulling it off this time, even with, again, failing with part of their plan. Trying to go with the 3-man defense of the 4-man push. They still pulled it out. They concentrated towards the mid game, and they've held together just so well.
Yeah, actually, I remember at the end of game 1 where they got pretty much one-sided, just stomped. They were all kind of smiling. Like, Bishu sat there, was like, yeah, we lost it. Yeah, it was a really bad play top, but you know what? It's fine. Like, you could see on his face he was not even worried about the series. And so, you know, I just kind of want to echo your point that, yeah, these guys have been coming back in this game. Came back from a very rough level 1, and they're doing much better here. So, let's see what their next move is. Siege towards the mid lane. Glebe helping out with Bishu a little bit there.
Another ulti.
Gigantic. Push in now towards Yuzuki. Not in range for the stun. Inox finds the Q, though. Slows him down, and this Ryze has got nowhere to go. Great kill picked up. Shut down.
They're waiting in place for the Dragon, though. Snoopy commits up top. Cloud9 get an objective for it. Now, the question is, how fast can EG push? Can they get this secondary turret down? Because that would be completely worth it. However, the minion waves are lagging for them, and it doesn't look like they're going to have enough damage to pull this one off. Only 3 ranged, no way.
And the mid-outer turret actually goes to Bishu anyway. Looks like Pobelter had to pull back for a little bit there, and EG don't get anything for it. It's actually a Dragon and an outer turret for a kill.
The outer turret was pretty low.
Well, yeah.
We'll give it to him.
Okay.
Altec, we're trying to make some solo plays here. He's got red buff.
That was through 2 shields. That was Orianna and Karma putting a shield. He went down to half anyway. So there's some very real damage there. It is Sork Shoes, by the way, for Altec. And I like this. He went Sheen into Pickaxe. I think he's actually going to finish the Last Whisper next. That'd be weird, but I feel like
the double penetration build.
It's weird to me. Like I'm not completely convinced by Last Whisper, but it's like I could see him not finishing Triforce.
We will check the damage split of Corki after this game. Usually it's pretty heavy magic if he's doing, you know, more poking. He's doing a lot of auto attacking as well, though, so we'll have to see what the split comes out to be and if Last Whisper is warranted. This time around, though, with so much magic spread, I feel like he's just want to buff up those spells.
C9T, yeah, significant vote swing there.
Fickle voters.
Well, I mean, I think they're just being smart with this one.
No faith, man. You gotta stick with your choices. even in the face of a 6K gold lead.
Well, hey, there you go, 70-30. They've
matched the kills. It's 7-3 in kills. So basically, every time you get a kill, 10% vote swings in your favor.
All right, C9T need 4 more kills. They're 110% likely to win.
That's how numbers work for you.
Yes, it is. Don't worry, we got this. But they're going to take away some wolves.
The pink ward wars. All the pink wards are dead. It's a massacre. And only the greens survive.
But they have really short lifespans anyway. They do have natural causes very often. Glarbu, pink ward. Uh-oh. Another fight for wards up there. Bishu steals the kill. No gold to Glebe whatsoever for that one. Even though he did 4 of the 5 hits.
All right, Ryze is fully stacked, guys. He's got both of his items to completion now. And he's ready to team fight.
Yeah.
Him plus Soraka, they are looking to force something up in this top turret. They preempted this move with some pretty decent vision in the jungle, but they weren't able to clear out everything from EG. So the picks will probably be pretty hard to pull off, but it's the right idea.
Snoopy.
Oh, he wins the war over the Wraith. Now, if the whites... Never mind, I don't want to bring that up.
Nope, it's fine.
We are
I see.
We are not naming all these games. All right, the 5v5 that C9T want may just be unfolding before our eyes.
Kez looks for Pobelter. There's a Lantern, one-man slow from the Evil. The three-man Shockwave, though. This could be really big. 1-for-0 so far. Bishu is healthy. The hook on an Inox, and Lee Sin goes down. 2-0. Bishu pops another couple of Summoner Heals. He stays alive. Third kill picked up. Two of them going to the way of Altec, and Cloud9 Tempest win a big fight.
Yeah, we get to see the power of the team fight, and they do get that pick that they're looking for with Kez. All he wanted was that slope, just to get one person out of position, and they obliterate their target. This is the power of the mid-game spike here from the Corki Soraka Rise. They have ridiculous team fight, and if they can catch you, they will kill you, and they will take Baron after.
And Kez is undefeated in smites, but here comes the Pantheon. C9T crew back up. Kez gets obliterated. Snoopy gets one kill. He will trade his life for it. No one from EG is around. It is one Baron buff off. But it is an assisted kill going over to C9T.
Now, the teleport down here from Yuzuki, they're also going to save the turret. So even though EG trying to push down bottom, they don't get anything out of it. And Yellowpe's got to be careful. Yuzuki can easily take him out, 1 versus 1.
Rise is a scary dude.
However, 4 versus 1, the rest of this team rotates down.
Yeah, it's been pinged out. C9T knows about it. Crapple gets some wards. This is good. EG, despite losing control for a couple of fights, get wards down deep in the jungle. They take the mid turret down.
Yuzuki has been tipped off.
Someone called into the hotline, gave him an anonymous tip. It's like there's a Soraka on the loose, or an Orianna on the loose. Gotta be careful.
Well, it was a karma.
Whatever.
Good try.
I'm not saying the anonymous tip was reliable.
Okay.
The guy who called in said it was Orianna.
Well, job well done. Now they've got Baron buff, and another siege would probably just result in action if they get a hook onto somebody. They're going to be looking for Glebe to throw out the hooks under turret, and if they can land one of those, they definitely go for it. But EG, they should not be trying to force anything, just waiting till the tower dive comes from Cloud9.
Well, there's 2.5 minutes left in the Baron buff for C9T to look for that dive. They do have heavy armor on Kez. Rushed to Randuin's Omen, added a Ninja Tabi. You've got Frozen Heart already done for Bishu as well, who also went Ninja Tabi. So there is a lot of armor there if they do want to dive. Face the Mountain also done for Glebe Glarbu. So there's extra shields there. Glebe hits a ward. There's the dive in towards the top lane. Altec's kind of got nowhere to go. Glebe is just below him, though. And the catch is not there. Altec gets away.
Yeah, Snoopy would have to fully commit to that if you wanted to get that pick. You would have to flash for that stun. And he does get it, but it's a little late. Glebe are already there for the exit.
He flashed for the stun, and there's a lantern there. Crepple, though, gets the root onto Kez. Lands a Q, but haste afterwards. There's a big ulti across Bishu in the middle of the fight as well. Altec there for the cleanup. One kill picked up. Single man shotgun, but he goes down right away. 1-for-1 fight so far. EG, can they get out? Inox jumps the wall. Yellow Pete looks safe. Bishu takes damage.
It's 4 versus 5 though. The entire time Rise is pushing down bottom, and he's got the turret.
All right, that's Inhibitor turret going down. Inhibitor itself now taking damage. Yasuki has some extra ability power, and it's decent damage, but he backs off.
All right, they can take Dragon now. Just move all the way down and take the extra gold that is on the map. No need to press for an inhibitor. It's already exposed, so they can return to the scene. All right, so they get a pretty good Eve ulti after he gets away from Crepo. Altec just gets annihilated here, though. They stun him into the shockwave. Dragon does go down.
Okay, so Cloud9 Tempest. 1-for-1 team fight, but they pick up a Dragon and an Inhibitor turret in the aftermath of this one. Putting them now 10,000 gold in the lead, and they're 120% likely to win the game. EG sitting at 50-50. 29 minutes in, so C9T definitely slower in the advantages. It seems like they're taking a bit more time with this one. They're not getting as many deep wards, I feel, and they're not getting that same level of siege, but they are at 5 turrets. Bishu gets the big Wraith. I also got to point out, Snoopy has secured every single kill for his team. He's building really offensive because of it.
He's got 100% kill participation because he took every single kill.
Yep.
That's the way to do it. He's a team player.
Yep. Don't need assists. It's all him. If you're a one-man team, are you always a team player?
Yes. In that case, there is a me and team. All right, the exposed inhibitor is where they decide to return to. Rise does now have teleport. So pretty easy choice here for C9. They don't have to force anything. They wait for EG. EG has to choose. Do we initiate through a Thresh box into a Soraka for our exposed inhibitor? And the answer is yes.
You're going to go right on this one. Bishu going to get a teleport from a teammate there, and there's the push on in. Glebe Largo keeps himself safe with the shields.
They don't get it. That was their only chance.
EG is engaged. Yuzuki's going to find a Rune Prism, but Snoopy gets out with Mikhails, thanks to Crepo. Quick wave here from Orianna, but the team is now here to fight. Cloud9 Tempest pushing in for the inhibitor, and C9T missing a couple of cooldowns. EG as well.
It was a good attempt there from EG, trying to catch C9 off guard, because there was no chance if they grouped up as 5, and EG trying to take advantage of the Pantheon ult, but just barely not being able to pull it off. Means that C9 are probably going to walk this one in.
There we go. There's another turret going down, making that 6-3. Bottom inhib already dead, a small minion wave left, and they push in for inhibitor turret number 2. Bishu tanks it up. Crepo takes a big burst of damage. He goes down to Yuzuki, who just dives in the back lane along with Bishu. Gonna be the turret going down now. Snoopy locked up. The phosphorus bomb. The swarm comes through, and it's 3 kills picked up for Cloud9 Tempest. This could be the game-winning push right here if the respawns don't come in time.
I concur.
Well, mid inhib's gonna go down. They ping towards the Nexus turrets. 15 seconds of 5 versus 2. Pobelter does have a shockwave. Inox about has ulti. 2-man shockwave, good damage, but down goes the first kill. Inox kicks him back, but he goes to Rune Prison as well. That's going to be Nexus turret number 1. Only Crepo now alive. Nexus turret number 2 under fire. This should be C9T closing out the game, making the series 1-1. And the next team to win 2 games joins the North American LCS.
All right, Cloud9 Tempest fire back and even up the series.
And a very well-played game. 32 minutes, actually shorter than EG's win. Once they got enough of a lead, they closed it out rather quickly. And this team is still looking like they're smiling, like they're going to discuss, they're going to know what's going on. EG now, they're the ones. They look worse off than C9T did after their loss. So this one affected them a bit more. I do want to see how EG bounces back in Game 3.
Because Cloud9 Tempest, the mentality right now for them is, oh yeah, game 1, it was just that one mistake. We're fine, guys. So they have a really easy route to raise their morale. They're like, yeah, no problem. We just don't make that mistake again. We have a good strategy, and we just have to execute it. The EG guys are kind of worried because they tried to do the same thing this time around, but this time, Snoopy went to go gank a solo lane, and he ran into the jungler again. This time around, Flash wasn't able to save him. There was no stun to back him up, and that sort of ended up snowballing against them. However, Snoopy himself still had a pretty good game. As you said, he had all the kills on the entire team, full kill participation, and he had pretty good Pantheon ultimates. There was this one tower dive up top where they overextended, I think.
Yeah, and the other battle to talk about, though, is our featured matchup, the AD carry fight. 333 minions onto Altec, 6-2-4, 236, 0-2 to the Yellow Pete. Now, to be fair, Altec was like split pushing all game, but once again, we have a distinct lead, actually a full item lead. It's a completed Last Whisper over for Altec there. Now, guys, it's going to be it for us here at this desk for this game, but we're going to throw it over to Jat, Link, and Aframo, the analyst desk, to walk us through Cloud9 Tempest's win.
All right, thank you, Freak. Coming into this one, Aframo predicted the Cloud9 Tempest win. It's now 1-1. It's like a best of 3 start of the new. Why'd you pick that? How'd they win?
Cloud9 Tempest really stepped up this game. Has stepped up, and actually Cloud9 did a very impressive move when they held the top tower. And one of the things they reminded me of was Monty had us read Sun Tzu's Art of War book, where one of the major points in that book is where you thwart your opponent's strategy, and C9 did a very good job by holding the top tower. And EG really wanted to go for an objective-focused game, and they stopped that, and then EG just looked like they didn't know what to do after that.
Yeah, it was a really awkward-looking opening because, I mean, Yuzuki went top lane, got towered over, but no turrets fell. How did that really play into the laning phase of the game, Link?
So it was kind of weird because Altec was basically 1v1ing the Lee Sin for pretty much the entire game.
Yeah.
And it was like a Ryze Thresh versus like a EG's bottom lane. So it's like this weird mixture of events where Altec's pretty much like the top laner now, and he's just kind of like, just farming, and all he cares about is CS and making sure that he's up above Yellow Pete, and that kind of, like, to be honest, Altec really did not do anything this game.
Yeah.
Like all that happened was Kaz pretty much made the plays. He made the plays with Ryze and Thresh, and they got a billion kills. Rise got super farmed, and then Soraka held mid lane. And if Soraka is ever farmed and she's doing well, she hasn't died. That's like the #1 rule on Soraka is to never die mid lane. That's all you have to do. And once you're scaling, like lanes get really strong, like Rise and Corki, then they just pretty much become unkillable.
Yeah, it was a 1-0-16 Bishu on Soraka, 3-1-11 on Kez, which is much better than his performance in the last game. And also, Snoopy was not finding his way in a lot of these games. Do you want to talk a little bit about Snoopy, Afro?
Usually it's hit or miss when Snoopy is ganking early game. If he gets the first gank off and it's successful, then he can snowball it into a lead for his team. But if it fails, then Snoopy is nowhere to be found after it fails.
Yeah, he had the one early death, and then also there was a turret dive where Rise ended up picking up a double kill. If we can actually get this clip up on our screen, this is a really key moment because Rise had been farmed, but he was babysitted a little bit, and he needed this to come back into the game. Let's just roll this clip. Link, talk us through it.
So pretty much they find Evelyn in the jungle. Lisa's kind of being really aggressive, and I'm not sure why. Yeah, Snoopy flashes forward, and this is kind of a really bad situation to be in because I really don't know what they're doing. Like, they're just kind of diving recklessly, and Rise just is basically going to get a free double kill. And at this point, this kind of seals the game because Rise, if he's able to ever get farmed in the early game and pick up kills like that, it's incredibly hard to come back, especially when you have a Soraka on your team and you have Evelyn invisible pressure. So it just allows Rise to just ramp up and farm really, really hard. And you can see that he had a 20-minute Seraph's Rod of Ages and a Merc Treads, and that's incredible.
Yeah, it's really interesting actually how in game 1, Inox was the beneficiary of kind of a gank, snowball the game on Jax, and here Yuzuki gets babysat a lot and then ends up taking over on Rise. It still wasn't entirely over though. There was a nice turret dive try by Evil Geniuses and was probably the nail in the coffin. It was about 18 minutes into the game. If we can pull that clip up as well, just to see exactly why it went wrong. Afro, take it away.
So Snoopy jumps in here and they look to kill Yuzuki because he's the primary target usually over here. So they cut him off with Crepo and Yuzuki flashes with the wall and his team backs him up. And then you have Soraka who just makes your bruisers super fed and Yuzuki gets a heal and just turns around and wrecks face. And now EG is on the run. Kez flashes forward because they know they're going to win this fight. They have the momentum in their favor. And Pobelter, oh, damn that ult.
Not quite where it was.
And then Cloud9 Tempest just cleans up after this when their whole team backs them up. So it was a very poorly executed dive by EG there, and Cloud9 Tempest just capitalized.
And meanwhile, you have the top laner, I'll taking bottom tower. So
yeah, he really was a top laner this game. Really isolated playstyle. He ended 6-2-4, but that was off of really passive play. It was strange watching this game early on because Cloud9 Tempest was really saving their flashes. Do you think that was some type of mindset they have that they might be over now that they've won game 2?
I still feel like they are kind of playing that passive, but I feel like Cloud9 Tempest, just from watching them play, I think if they get the momentum going, that they're just going to be more and more aggressive, and they're going to play much, much better, and they're going to be more confident in their plays. And it just seems like just watching that game, like game 1 was just like a warm up. Game 2, they're getting into the groove, and maybe game 3, if they can get their picks again, then they'll be really strong. And I know EG is kind of a team that kind of likes to tilt time to time, so it's really important that they don't lose their momentum from game 1, and they just kind of think about their picks.
Yeah, it was a 36-minute victory for EG in game 1, now a 32-minute defeat. If you're EG right now, Aframu, what do you try and do, picks and bans-wise? What are your priorities coming into this game now with your first pick again?
Honestly, I would take away Soraka from Bishu because it's really easy for them to hold mid lane with that, and Bishu's just been doing really well in the first 2 games, and so you want to take him off his comfort pick right away. And instead of banning Morgana, I would stop banning Morgana, ban Soraka, and then I would look. You have to be really good at mind games now in this series because they're going to try and force 2v2 this game. I expect them to go bottom when Cloud9 Tempest is purple side. So you just have to be... I think EG has to invade and find out where they're going to go in their lanes to be able to get the 2v1.
Yeah, and as far as predictions for this next game, little bit, who do you predict and why quickly?
Honestly, after watching that game, I think Cloud9 Tempest, I think they found what they need to do. And honestly, it's kind of just like they need to bring EG down to their level, and it's just bring them to solo queue. And if they're able to
create
do that,
chaos, just try and stop what they're
exactly. Doing. Like if they just take away EG's objective controlling base game style, then it's really easy for, because I still strongly believe that Cloud9 Tempest has stronger individual laners. So if they can do that, then I think they'll win.
After what you called the last one, who you call here?
I looked at EG's faces and looked like they were having a bad day, and their mood is really down right now, so I'm going to have to go with Cloud9 Tempest.
All right, double Cloud9 Tempest for the picks, but we have to take a 3.5-minute broadcaster cooldown. The series is tied up with 1 win each. After the break, we'll jump into Game 3 between Evil Geniuses and Cloud9 Tempest. Do not go anywhere.
Help. Yo, just go on them. He came out. Go on them. Go. Kill them both. Find one. Lee. Nice. Yo, holding. Yeah, I got it. Enox. Pantheon. Nice. I got it. Lantern if you can. No lantern. Keep going, come on. One's lantern. It's down. I got him. Nice. His tower. Nice. Okay. In the game. Yeah. Woo. Nice job. Don't celebrate early. Let's go back and talk about the next game. Yeah.